and I'm cussing the girl out because why are you trying to take my man's pants off and force him to have it with you? He don't want you.
Back up on the move, touchdown in my home, said I got nothing to lose. I am on my own now, I am in control now. I need you to go now, I can fix my own crown. Back up on my move.
Hey y'all, it's TheBreeze and you're plugged into TheBreeze Lifestyle. Thank you as always for clicking on this video. If you want to support your girl more, because I'm trying to get to 1K before 2024 is over, like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to see more of your girl, then go ahead and follow me on my other socials, which is Instagram and TikTok at TheBreeze Lifestyle 777. Now y'all, if the lighting gets a little weird, it's because I just recorded another video. Y'all should go check that out. That's when I did my little hair. Look at these curls. They popping, okay? But anyway, you gotta go check that video out to see how I got this look. And it's giving, I was trying to give schoolgirl, kind of like going to school, but I feel like I'm giving, just got out of college and start doing teaching, and I'm here to get my hours. So if you like this look, let's do what we did last time. If you see my video about the worst girls trip ever, and put a orange heart, or you can put these, you can put the little hands. Let's do that. Put the hands with the hearts if you like this look. This is my natural little look. I don't have no lipstick on, just a little lip gloss, and I love these little glasses. It makes me feel more intelligent. And yeah, my natural hair. Tell me if you like my natural. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into the video. If you see the title, then you already know this is How I Met Finesse. I wanted to get back into this series of my Baby Daddy Chronicles because it gets a lot worse than what you already know. So this story, it ain't that bad, but it's showing you that it was red flags from the very beginning. The flags was flagging, okay? So me and my best friend that I talked about in the DL story and my first fight story, basically he convinced me. So in 9th grade, I went to this school. We're gonna call it H-Town, I don't know. So I went to H-Town, and then he convinced me, because we was in school together for 8th grade, we both went to different schools. So he convinced me to go to his school. I ended up choosing it to his school. So 10th grade, I went to his school. His school was too hard. Like at my school, it used to be 90 to 100 is an A, 80 to 89 is a B, 70 to 79 is a C, right? At his school, it was like 93 to 100 is an A, 84 to you doing too much, because in what life was an 81 a C? So long and behold, 11th grade, I went back to H-Town because I couldn't do it. Like not to say I wasn't that smart, I'll just say I did not apply myself. School for me was about talking to people and having a good time. And it's so crazy because in every Spanish class, everybody was talking and I was talking to everybody, and then everybody passed and I didn't. Like, I just thought that was so weird. Like, I thought we was all talking. Why didn't y'all tell me that y'all was doing y'all work low key? What? Anyway, so when I went back to 11th grade, that's when I met Finesse. So let me just give you a little bit of backstory on him. He didn't go to this school in 9th grade. I feel like he came to the school in the middle of his 10th grade year because he got kicked out. And he had to do, actually, no, not in the middle of his 10th grade year. Finesse is a year older than me. So in his 10th grade year, he got the fight in at his other school, and he ended up like, I'm not going to say what injury, but he got a really bad injury. It wasn't, they was fighting, like a lot of people was in one fight. So not that he got beat up, but he definitely got hit to the point where he had a major injury and had to be out of school for a while. So he ended up having to do 10th grade over. So when I was in 10th grade, now he was in 10th grade again. He was at H-Town. I was at the other school. So 11th grade, we both was going to H-Town. So before I met him, I actually met Slickums. So my friend, what did I name her? What did I name her? Because she's going to be in some other story times too. Zane. Zane from the Worst Girls Trip, right? So she is a grade younger than me. And from 9th grade, she was going to H-Town. So by the time she got to 10th grade, she already had her little friends, and not little, because she 1 grade younger than me, but you get it. She already had her friends, her school friends and stuff. And, you know, she already was accustomed to H-Town. I'm coming back to H-Town, and it was totally different than when I was in 9th grade. Because, you know, when you're in 9th grade, you still childish. By the time you get to 11th grade, you about to graduate, you feel grown, okay? So I came back, and she had already knew some people. So 2 things. First thing is Finesse had tried to talk to Toxic. Not Toxic. Y'all, if you watch Simone, put a I don't know. Put Simone in the chat. If you watch Simone, put that in the chat because I literally watch her faithfully, okay? But anyway, so Zane told me that Finesse tried to talk to her. This is my thing with my friends. I'm not going to talk to somebody that you actually talk to, but if they try to talk to you and you didn't want to talk to them, I'm going to ask you, sis, do you like them? Do you want them? And if you say no, then okay, the boy is mine. Okay, and she didn't have no interest in Finesse, and I really wish I had her frame of mind because, yeah, I tell you. So anyway, Finesse tried to talk to her first way before I had got to the school. So the year before I got to the school, he tried to talk to her. She didn't give him no play. They never exchanged numbers, never was talking, but he shot his shot at her. Okay, cool, because Zane been bad. She been pretty, so I never was taking it no type of way, but she didn't want him. So I said, okay, let me see what he's talking about, okay? So really before Finesse tried to talk to me, you remember Slickums from the I Got Too Lit video? If you didn't watch that, watch that. But just for context, Slickums is Finesse cousin, okay? So Slickums, we all rode the same bus. Me, Zane, Slickums, and Finesse all rode the same bus. But me and Zane more so was sitting in the middle, and Slickums and Finesse, they was in the back. They was bad. You know, the bad kids sit in the back, and they was in the back, okay? So they was sitting in the back, and I remember one day Slickums came and sat next to me, and he reached out his hand to me and was like, hey, you know, my name is Slickums, you know, I seen you, whatever. Basically shooting his shot at me. I am so glad that I said no because of this reason, because whole time he was talking to Caramel. Like, he was knee deep in a real relationship with Caramel the whole time. And call me a bad friend, but to this day, I never told her that he tried to talk to me because I never thought it was really relevant for real, because she was locked in with old boy and she wasn't going nowhere. It wasn't no switching up. So what would be the point of me telling her that he tried to talk to me? And I said no, because his fingernails was dirty. Like, ugh. Like, I mean, he had long fingernails and they was dirty. Like, you could see the dirt just piling up. So he was a nice looking dude, but me seeing his fingernails really turned me off, and I just kind of gave him the cold shoulder in the most polite way. Like, no, thank you. Nice talking to you. Here's my stop. Gotta go. Okay? So, a couple weeks later, guess who in my chair? Guess who's in my chair? Or in my seat? Finesse. Oh, hey. And he just kind of doing the same thing, but I actually thought he was kind of cool, but this was the second dude that tried to talk to me on this bus, so I'm still just playing it cool, whatever, and he's just like, you know, I just want to tell you, you look nice today, whatever, and he was shooting his shot. Whole time, come to find out, he actually was in my math class. So I really, not to say I didn't notice him, but I felt like he didn't notice me, because when he was in my math class, he was butt buddies with our new character. What we gonna call her? Stiffy. We're gonna call her Stiffy, because anytime she had a silk press, quote unquote, if she turned that way, the press turned that way. If she turned that way, the press turned that way. If she looked down, the press looked up. Okay? Like, it was just never flowing, never growing. Her hair was stiffy. Okay? So her and Stiffy was, I'm sorry, Finesse and Stiffy was really cool. Like, Finesse is the class clown, so I definitely noticed him. But I felt like, you know, I was new. Everybody, by the time I got into math class, it seemed like everybody kind of already knew each other, and I could tell that they always was like talking to each other. He sat right behind her. I could tell that he was like flirting with her and stuff like that. So I'm just observing, and I'm not really looking for nothing. I'm cool on it, so I'm just doing my math work and minding my business. So after a couple, I want to say maybe a week or two of us being in the same math class, it was probably about a week or two after Slicker was trying to talk to me as well. That's when Finesse approached me on the bus, and I kind of wasn't giving him no play because, yeah, ain't that your boy that tried to talk to me? And don't you talk to, this is not what I said. I'll just politely say no thank you, and you know, whatever. So after that, I might be lying. I don't know. I might have gave him a little play because I can't remember our first conversation. But I do know after that conversation, the dynamic of our math class started changing a little bit. I don't know if you know, what is 11th grade math called? I don't know, but sometimes, some days of the week, we had to go into the computer room, right? And work on little whatever problems, and you know, you had to get to a certain level every week, you know, whatever. So once we had that computer class, he sat next to me, and I'm, you know, just chopping up with him. He was really, really funny. Like, so I feel like I didn't shut him down, but I didn't give him my number or nothing like that. So by the time he came to the math class again, he like, oh, I got a chance with her. Let me, like, yeah. So what I noticed is he really wasn't politicking with Stiffy like that. So I was like, oh, okay. And I wasn't really pressed about it because, like I said, he was funny. Like, he was a funny dude. He would always crack jokes. We would always just talk or whatever. But it wasn't, he never really came at me like that no more. So Stiffy kind of started being a little weird to me. Not, do y'all know how people be subtly weird? Like, they don't do nothing that you can be like, oh, that was where you was being weird. But just little subtle things that they be doing. Like, she didn't never speak to me, never said nothing to me. But I felt this vibe when me and Finesse would be talking to each other, and she would walk past and do little things like to him that would be like kind of weird. But this not my man. So I really don't care about all of that. That don't faze me. It is what it is. So I'm gonna have to do a whole video on Stiffy because, yeah, it got real. So anyway, so Finesse starts, you know, talking to me more. Now he moves his seat. He moves his seat from sitting behind her to sitting next to me and trying to act like he helping me with my math, but really he needed help with his math. So I started helping him with his math. And then that turned to him start sitting on the bus with me, and we just started talking from there. And it was like, y'all, like, once I talked to my girl and she said she didn't want no parts of the man, that was my man. That was my man. You couldn't tell me nothing about Finesse. Once I thought it was cute. Don't get me wrong. It was a red flag because the fact that you could be, you know, flirting with somebody and all up in their face and then switch up on them right in front of their face, that's a bold ninja, okay? He was real bold. He did not care. He didn't care that Stiffy was there. And come to find out, it's because he had her number and he would, like, shoot his shot and tell her different things. And because she ended up turning to the other team and she had a girlfriend at the time. I don't know if they was actually girlfriends at that time, but eventually she ended up getting a girlfriend. So he really, I was like, ooh, like, this man done put old girl on ice because he seen something better and he not playing about me. Like, that's one thing I can say about Finesse. In my face, he ain't play about me. Like, once we start getting locked in, like, he didn't do nothing crazy in my face. But boy, behind my back, he was going crazy. He was going crazy, okay? So come to find out, this is when I found out that, so we started to get comfortable with each other, whatever. I would say maybe 3 weeks passed. Y'all, I'm just kind of estimating. I don't really know. But I know after some time, he finally told me that him and Slickums was cousins. I'm like, Slickums? I'm like, oh, like, I don't really know him, but he tried to talk to me or whatever. So, because I'm being honest, I'm a virgin at the time. I ain't never had a real boyfriend, and I was digging the man. So I felt like, let me just be upfront with him and let him know. And he already knew. He said, yeah, I saw him, and I seen you shut him down, and I like that. I'm like, you've been watching me? Like, you've been watching me this whole time? Like, I really thought that you didn't notice me, and you've been watching me. Okay. So, anyway, he started doing little things. We started going to class together, or like our math class. After our math class, he might walk me to my class. After lunch, we never really sat together at lunch, but he might come over to my table, make it known that he coming to see me. I think he was doing his rounds, because when he left, I didn't really pay too much attention to him. I was just like kikiing with my friends about, oh yeah, that's my man. Now, obviously, I wasn't really saying that's my man, but this is how I'm feeling inside. Like, that's my guy. Like, that's my man. I really liked him. And then we started hanging out a little bit, because we didn't live too far from each other. So I would have my friends, and he would have a couple of his friends, and we would hang out with each other a little bit. And y'all, that's really it. Like, that's really how I met him in our math class, and we just started bonding from there. It really didn't take long for us to build a connection. So let me tell you a little bit more about Stiffy, right? So, long story short, we're going together real bad. We going together real bad, okay? And Stiffy she did not ride our bus. And it was one time, I can't remember. I think this is before we actually did the do, but it could have been after. But I do honestly think it was before, but it all came out like afterwards, right? So Stiffy, one day, because I would ride different buses, and I think I had stopped riding that bus and I was riding another bus, or maybe I didn't go to school this day. I don't know. But my girl, my good sis Zane, was riding the bus, and she said, you know, Stiffy on the bus. Now, mind you, this specific bus is bringing you right to, I can't say the street, but we're going to just say, we're going to say 11th Street, because we met in 11th grade, right? So 11th Street, this is the 11th Street bus, and she live out in the suburbs. What is she doing on the 11th Street bus with my man? Now, I didn't necessarily feel insecure about me not doing a do with him, because he never like pressured me, and we never really was talking about it at the beginning. We was just both kind of goofballs, and we was like cracking jokes and, you know, being cute or whatever. So I'm like, why is she riding the bus? And I asked him about it, and he said, I don't know why she riding the bus. I don't know why she riding the bus. Whole time, she got off one bus stop before yours, because you knew that my girl was on the bus, but y'all still met up with each other. So I found that very weird. I found it very weird. And why you being weird to me? Like, we just starting out. Why are you having these hoes ride the bus? The first second that I'm not on the bus, now I'm not number one. She was number one. Like, what? So I never confirmed anything happened, like I said, until later. But let's fast forward. Now, the girl is never spoken to. He don't even speak to Stiffy. That's why I thought it was a little weird. Like, I seen their dynamics when we first got into that math class. But once we actually started talking, it was me and him in the math class. It was me and him. It got so bad that the teacher had to move us from each other. And that's when he starts sitting all the way to the side, and I start sitting closer to Stiffy. So I just felt that it was weird that she's riding a bus when you don't even communicate with her. whole time y'all got each other's number and y'all always been communicating. I don't know, still to this day, don't know if they was communicating the whole time, but I felt like me being around made her want him. And even though she had traded to the other team, she was going back, forth and forth. So she still wanted that. And I see why. Now I see why, because like I said in my other video, he was dropping that pipe, okay? When I found out, I found out. But anyway, so yeah, after that little bus ride, he told me it was nothing. He don't know why she was on the bus or whatever. She wasn't there for him. So I'm like, okay. He never really said nothing to her in class, so I never really, like I said, in my face, the man was about me, okay? And I really didn't see nothing different. So it just started getting a little weird because I started seeing her like say little subliminal things about me on Facebook, which was about me, but it wasn't. Like I said, you know what a subliminal is, so I can't 100% prove that it's about me, but if the shoe fit, let me try this on, because I think she's talking about me. So, y'all, I wasn't like this until I met Finesse, okay? I was sweet as honeycomb, okay? When I met Finesse, any girl, I was the delusional one that was asking my man. He could tell me anything, and I'm running with it, and I'm cussing a girl out because why are you trying to take my man's pants off and force him to have it with you? He don't want you, and he told me to tell you. He told me. The whole time. He wanted them. He did. He wanted all of us. But yeah, so she started throwing subliminals, and I had to ask her, what's up? Like, what's the problem? Not on no, I want to fight or anything, but what's the problem? And y'all, this might be a little short video, but I'm going to leave it here because I want to do a little research, and I'm going to go activate my Facebook just to see if I can find the messages. Now, it's another girl. The big Bertha problem in our relationship was Finesse, of course. But the major girl that I had problems with for almost maybe a little less than half of our relationship, I already found them messages and I'm showing them. Okay, we going right down memory lane. Like I said, I don't have no smoke, no beef with these girls, but I'm going to give you the same energy like I was in 11th grade. Because me and these girls had beef, big beef, okay? About Finesse, I'm not playing, especially when I start getting that. Especially after that. I'm like, he ain't going nowhere. I done found me a hood ninja. And he ain't going nowhere, period. So yeah, this is the video about how I met Finesse, and in less than a month of me meeting him, in less than a week of me meeting him, already red flags was flagging because you already trying to play two girls right in their face, right here in their face. But y'all, this is definitely not even scratching the surface of how finessable Finesse was. No, he wasn't finessable. Man, he was just finessing everybody, okay? And this ain't even the half of it. Wait till you just see what we got grown. Like, but the next video is going to be about how me and Stiffy almost got the fight in. Because what? Anyway, if you like this video, go ahead and like it, comment, and subscribe. And I'll make sure I give you, I won't say it's part 2, but I guess it is kind of part 2. But I'll give you the next part this week. I promise you. I ain't going to leave you hanging too long, but I don't want to just babble along. I really hope that I can find these messages, and I want to read them down because we were so childish, but I wasn't playing about my man, period. All right, y'all. Breezy out. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.